No-hitting has been a huge part of the Souls community for a long time. So I decided to start a potential series, The Art of No-Hit, where I give myself a difficult no-hit challenge for some boss. I wouldn't call myself a great Elden Ring player, but when it comes to Messmer, I feel like I could defeat him with my eyes closed. After all, I have no-hit him not only on rune level 1, but I also have no-hit him with every weapon in the game. But that wasn't enough for me. I wanted to give myself an even bigger challenge. And as far as I know, no one has no-hit him with these specific rules, or no-hit him for the same amount of time. At least no one has made a video about it. In this video I simply want to go over the run itself. The full 48-minute run will be uploaded separately, the link to which will be in the description down below. Before I continue, make sure to like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Okay, let's begin. So the rules and conditions of this Messmer no-hit challenge are the following. I have to be rune level 1 with no scadutree blessings, with a +0 weapon, no talismans, no wondrous physick, no buffs, no consumables, no ashes of war, no weapon affinities, and most importantly, no status effects, so that I can't just abuse a bleed build and defeat him in a few minutes. There are definitely ways to make it even harder. For example, I could have done it on NG +7 or done it with fists only, but the reason I didn't do that was because this run was already 48 minutes, so those even more challenging ones would have been multiple hours, and yeah, I'm not doing that. There are only 30 weapons in the game that we can effectively use that don't have any status buildup, and unfortunately most of them are bad. Pretty much the only ones worth using are any of these axes or the broadsword. A decent option is also the Serpent Hunter, but it actually does less damage than the rest, unless you fully charge the heavy attack, and the attacks are a bit longer. I personally chose the broadsword, even though it deals less damage than the axes, simply because I really dislike the movesets of the axes, and also the moves are a bit faster. Now that I have laid down all the conditions and what I will use in the fight, let's talk about the fight itself. This won't be a no-hit tutorial. If you want one, you can tell me in the comments, but I don't see the need to make one since there already are so many of them on YouTube. But anyways, in phase 1 my strategy was pretty simple. After every combo I would do one regular heavy attack, that way I would do the most amount of damage and I would also have the time to comfortably dodge in case he performs a faster attack. There are 3 moves that are a bit different though. The first one being the fireball attack, after which I would perform one charge heavy attack for maximum damage and posture damage. The second move is the spear throw. The goal is to dodge towards him and then start charging up the heavy attack. The third attack is this crazy combo, after which you can just use a charge heavy attack. And yeah, that is pretty much all I would do during phase 1. He would also get staggered from time to time, which was great because then I would be able to riposte, after which I would perform a charge heavy attack. An important thing to note about riposting, make sure to do it from the front instead of the back, because you actually deal more damage from the front. You probably already knew that, but I only found that out through this challenge. Quite embarrassing, I must admit, especially because I have like 600 hours in this game, but oh well. In phase 2 I mostly did the same things as during phase 1, except now after his melee combos you would have to do a rolling attack, because he instantly leaps away. In my case I used the broadsword and with it I simply could do a heavy attack, then dodge backwards to land right next to him after the leap, and perform another heavy attack. Now let's talk about the snake attacks. After he does a snake move, he starts shifting back to his normal form. And in fact, with good timing you can hit both the snake and Messmer. I took advantage of this after he would do the snake fireball move. After I dodged, I would charge a heavy attack at the correct time, so that it would hit both the snake and him for extra damage. I did the same after the attack where the snake comes out of the ground, by doing a well-timed jump attack. And you can also take advantage of this after this move too. And lastly, after this 3-move snake combo, I would simply perform a charge heavy attack. And yeah, that is pretty much all I did during this boss fight. So what are my final thoughts on this challenge? I have no-hit Messmer hundreds of times, and I felt like this wouldn't be that difficult, but I was surprised at how many tries it took me. I just didn't realize that it is somewhat difficult to be fully focused for 50 minutes straight. I often found myself zoning out and not paying any real attention to the fight. It is one thing to no-hit a boss for 5 minutes multiple times, and no-hitting the same boss for 50 minutes straight, because with each minute the probability of me messing up rises. This is probably the most difficult Elden Ring challenge I have done so far, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I am only saying that because I had already beaten him so many times, but I think it is not too difficult. I'm sure that the way I defeated him wasn't the most effective. I probably missed some attack opportunities, or I dodged certain moves in an inefficient way, but I don't really care. So yeah, overall I would say this is pretty challenging, but also not the worst, because I can imagine that beating Concerter down with these similar restrictions would be way harder, but not even because of the attack difficulty. One thing I love about Messmer is how telegraphed every move is, and how there is basically no lock factor in this boss fight. But for some other bosses, for example Concerter Dawn, it would be pretty hard to no-hit them for so long, simply because sometimes you can just get unlucky with positioning or the boss's AI. This was honestly a lot of fun. Well, maybe not, but either way, I challenge anyone watching this to attempt to no-hit Messmer the same way, and let me know how you did. Next video will be either about Night Rain, or maybe even another video in this series, but most likely it will be a boss from a different FromSoft game. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press like and subscribe. See you in the next one.